Enforcement of adjudication decision. If an adjudication decision is in the claimant's favor, the adjudication decision is binding unless it is set aside by the High Court or finally decided by court or arbitration. If the respondent refuses to comply with the adjudication decision, the claimant may then proceed to enforce the adjudication decision by the following methods, either concurrently or separately. First, we can choose to enforce the adjudication decision as a judgment or order of the High Court, or suspend or slow down works, or request for direct payment from the principal, and also to initiate a winding up procedure against the respondent. Enforce the adjudication decision as a judgment or order of the High Court. The successful party is entitled to enforce the adjudicator's decision in court under Section 28 of CIPAA 2012. In other words, to seek a judgment from the court ordering compliance with the adjudicator's decision. Once an order to enforce is obtained, Section 28, Sub 3 of CIPAA provides that the order may be executed in accordance with the same rules on execution of the orders of judgment of the High Court set out in Order 45 of the Rules of Court. For instance, we can file a judgment debtor summons, a garnishee proceedings, or a writ of seizure and sale. Pursuant to Section 29 of CIPAA, the successful party is also entitled to suspend or reduce the progress of work if the unsuccessful party did not pay the adjudicated sum. All the successful party has to do is to serve a written notice to suspend performance or reduce the rate of progress of performance to the other party. The successful party will then have the right to suspend or slow down works upon the expiry of 14 days of service of the notice if there's still no payment from the unsuccessful party. The next option a successful party has is to request for direct payment from the principal. For example, a subcontractor initiates an adjudication proceeding against a main contractor. The subcontractors obtain an adjudication decision in its favor. In the event the main contractor does not make payment of the adjudicated sum, the subcontractor may write a written request for payment of the adjudicated sum direct from the principal, which is usually the employer or the developer of the project. Based on the recent Court of Appeal judgment of Sun W Energy Solution and RZH Setia, it has been confirmed that there's no requirement for a successful party in an adjudication to enforce the adjudication decision with the High Court under Section 28 first before issuing a statutory notice to wind up. In other words, the successful party may issue a notice pursuant to Section 466 of the Companies Act to the unsuccessful party upon obtaining an adjudication decision. The unsuccessful party may also have the right to apply to the High Court to have the adjudication set aside, but only on limited grounds pursuant to Section 15 of CIPAA. The adjudication is under Section 15, an aggrieved party may apply to the High Court to set aside an adjudication decision on one or more of the following grounds. The adjudication decision was improperly procured through fraud or bribery. There has been a denial of natural justice. The adjudicator has not acted independently or impartially, or the adjudicator has acted in excess of his jurisdiction. That being the case, the Malaysian courts are inclined to lean towards upholding an adjudication decision and only set aside an adjudication decision when there's clear and unequivocal error in the adjudication decision. This position is in line with the object and intent of CIPAA, which is to remedy cash flow problems in the Malaysian construction industry. Alternatively, an unsuccessful party may also apply to the High Court for a stay of an adjudication decision under Section 16 of CIPAA if a setting aside application under Section 15 has been filed, or the subject matter of the adjudication decision is pending final determination by arbitration or the court. Whether a stay is to be granted falls within the discretion of the court. The unsuccessful party still bears the burden of proof to satisfy the court how and why discretion ought to be exercised in its favor. However, the Malaysian courts are very reluctant to grant a stay of an adjudication decision unless and until the high threshold requirement has been fulfilled. In conclusion, adjudication decisions are generally poor claimants. There's also a general default for Malaysian courts to uphold adjudication decisions and only set aside or stay the decision in very limited circumstances. This is in line with Parliament's intention to provide a speedy mechanism to remedy cash flow problems in the Malaysian construction industry.